Namaskar. Welcome to a special program on Mood Maharashtra. Now, we intend to do this program at regular intervals till such time the elections are actually on, or before 48 hours of the election, that is before the code of conduct of the elections. Now, there are two things I would like to say. First is, like I always said, I'm not going to share opinion poll, exit poll. I'm not going to share any polls with you. But what I'm going to do is, what we are going to collect is, we are going to collect a lot of information from all over Maharashtra, for which I am so proud you supported it. It is through your sponsorship that we put our people on ground and we are collecting information from ground. Now, what are we going to do with that information? We are going to collate that information, and that repository of information we are going to analyze, and we are going to get it in front of you at a periodic interval. Because we believe that election is a dynamic process. Choice for a particular party stroke a candidate is a dynamic process, which means that it keeps on changing as you come closer to the election. So that's the first point, and that's what we are attempting at HW News Network. So that's what it is. I have my friend and the managing director of HW News Network with me. Ganesh, what has changed between the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections for MVA and Mahayuti?
First of all, thank you for inviting me here.
My pleasure.
I'll give you a brief recap, because we are living in an age of merger and acquisition of political parties. That's what the perception is. There's a lot of mergers and acquisitions, splits and alignments, realignments that have happened for last 2 years. Maharashtra has a very strong history of this thing. Rather, it is a 100-year-old history of merger and acquisition, splits and acquisitions and things like that in politics. I'll just take you a brief history of that. Way back in, present two national streams. One, Congress. Second, BJP. I mean, I'm going by the formation. Congress was formed first, and then RSS was formed, and its offshoot is today's BJP. They were formed here in Maharashtra. One in Mumbai, another one in Nagpur. But until 1935, they essentially remained and contended to urban areas. And that time, urban areas were just Mumbai, Nagpur and Pune. Entire Maharashtra was rural. Now, there was another outfit called as PWP, which was left-leaning, promoted by Chhatrapati Shahu, none other than Chhatrapati Shahu, and with the inspiration of Mahatma Phule. And their strategists were, interestingly, Balasaheb Thackre's father and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. They were both advising Chhatrapati Shahu to create this political outfit, and they had the grassroots, this thing. And the first merger, interestingly, was done by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. He realized that Congress has not reached out to the hinterland of Maharashtra. So to penetrate Congress into hinterland of Maharashtra, after the death of Shahu Maharaj, this organization was into shambles or helter-skelter or leaderless. And that is the time Mahatma Gandhi strategically deputed Kakasaheb Gadgil as a veteran congressman to acquire this and merge it into Congress. That is the time Maharashtra, it is called as Jede Gadgil Pact in 1935. That is the time India went for the first assembly polls under 1935 Government of India Act. So that is the first merger and acquisition in Maharashtra. And then later on, there are several times Congress is split. It split in 1948. The PWD people were not happy because they were ill-treated by, again, with the today's reference, Gujaratis. But that time, Gujarati lobby was led by Sardar Patil. Both the states were together. So this is a long-standing history of Gujarati, Marathi and things like that. And when the split of these two states happened, it was a violent split, 110 people lost their lives.
Hutatma Chowk.
Yeah, in Hutatma Chowk you have the place also, right, and the history. So we have a strong history there. And of late, it has been now engineered by BJP more than any other political party, but every party has its own share. Now coming back to what you asked for the Lok Sabha and what I was bringing. See, in Lok Sabha, whenever it comes to a large electorate like Maharashtra, since I have dealt Maharashtra very minutely, having worked with Mr. R.R. Patil for almost 6 general elections, 3 assembly and 3 parliamentary. Maharashtra electorates think differently when it comes to Lok Sabha. It thinks differently when it comes to assembly, and it thinks differently when it comes to municipal corporation or Jilla Parishad elections. There is a that's because this electorate is a little more aware, I feel, politically, and that is how they proceed to vote. So when it comes to parliamentary elections, there is always more emphasis on narratives, national issues, what developmental issues and things like that. When it comes to the assembly cut to, in any assembly segment, there are at least 6-7 pressure groups or political groups, you can say. Now it depends on how this realigns. They are either institutional based, like they are some cooperative sugar factories or banks or you can say spinning mills. That is one type of network. Another network is a contractors lobby or led by those people, which has evolved of late in last 20 years. Another network is a caste-based network. So all these factors interplay in assembly. The larger issues of narratives and things like that, they remain outside of the purview of a voter. And things like the latest scheme, Ladki Bahan or Ladli Bahan Yojana, that has been launched. So these things play in assembly. These things don't matter much in this thing. When it comes to local elections like Mumbai Municipal Corporation or Jilla Parishad, then again people think differently. So this is a clear-cut, distinct thought process I have observed in various elections that a voter goes through. Now, having said that, the overall mood still continues against BJP in Maharashtra. But what has happened, a lot of water has flown down the river after this elections of parliament. What exactly happened with the Mahayuti or present government is they went into survival mode. What we say is Maratha kya nahi karta. Likewise, when they went into survival mode, when a man goes or an institution goes in a survival mode, come what may, they just want to win the elections. Okay. And on the other side, Mahavikas Aghadi, they assume that they are going to come to power, as if the people have mandated them in Lok Sabha and they will mandate them. It is assumed, and this is how their body language and behavior is.
So you are saying complacency versus survival mode.
Yes.
MVA went into complacency mode. Okay, tell me, what did MVA exactly do wrong?
See, first is complacency. Number one, first they got 30 plus 1 seats. Okay, they should have first analyzed where have they committed mistakes. In my last interview also I told you that they could have crossed 35 because of wrong selection of candidates, wrong selection of constituencies. I gave you the example of Sangli. I mean, Shiv Sena was fighting a losing battle for no reason, no rhyme or reason. And in that belt, they lost. Not only that, Vishal Patil seat, we got independent elected. Chandrahar Patil was their candidate, the Maharashtra Kesari winner. Shiv Sena doesn't have a grassroots network there. It is a Congress bastion. It was a Vasant Patil, this thing. So, stronghold. Not only that, in the adjoining constituency, Shiv Sena lost that seat by 15,000 votes. Because when you have an effect in one district, it translates into adjacent areas. Because Vasantdada Patil followers are very strong in Kolhapur also. So so these kind of things, they take it for granted.
Ganesh, can I ask you a question? See, this when you talk about Vishal Patil, for instance, or Sangli, for instance,
Yes.
and Vasantdada Patil per se, it is said that Sharad Pawar is not very comfortable with the Vasantdada family coming up in Sangli. That is what is being said.
Yes.
So, was the decision of fielding a Shiva Sena candidate Shiva Sena's alone, or was it also part of a strategy of Sharad Pawar and Jayant Patil?
See, Sharad Pawar and Jayant Patil have always been against this family and their successors establishing, staying afloat in Sangli. So, I don't have the direct knowledge, but from my past experience, I can say their will and wish is always like that, to cut to this family out of politics. And people of Sangli don't allow that. Otherwise, getting a MP elected independent in Maharashtra, you know how difficult it is. An independent MP getting elected, unless all the people support, an MP cannot get it. MLA can easily get elected as independent because it's a small assembly segment. But when it comes to parliamentary, getting elected as an independent candidate is very difficult, which means the people decided and took in hands the entire campaign and decided to vote for Mr. That was a sympathy way for Mr. Vishal Patil, because they thought that whatever their faction in followers of Vasantdada are, they are being trying to, this entire political leadership of Maharashtra, they are trying to eliminate them from political scene. So again, that survival mode thing. So all they flocked together and they ensured that the even Hatkanangle parliamentary constituency, Uddhav Thackeray's candidate lost.
Okay, let's move ahead. Let's talk about MVA. One of the issues you are saying is MVA had become complicit, and possibly the complacency actually got them where they are today, which is not in a very good position.
I will not generalize that.
Achha.
See, I'll tell you, Sharad Pawar is not complacent. As soon as the assembly elections were there, he has an acute sense of political knowledge of Maharashtra, and you know it well. So he started touring the entire state. It is immediately after Lok Sabha, he had mapped his constituencies well. And how is he going to contest, what are the candidates and everything in first 1 or 2 months after the Lok Sabha results, he finalized that. And till date, he has done at least 2 tours in every constituency, almost. Congress and Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena, they are, I feel, complacent. Because they are assuming that they are going to win in this. A. B. Even in Lok Sabha, I have seen it was just perception management was not up to the mark on behalf of Uddhav Thackeray, even Congress for that matter. Because people had already ticked the rejection box in Maharashtra. In any large electorate like Maharashtra, even in last interview I said, people first select the rejection box. Kisko nahi lana hai, that is
the first thing.
Yeah.
So it's not about getting somebody, it's about throwing somebody out.
So they are assuming that they have rejected BJP, they have rejected Mahayuti and all that. But last couple of days, these people, now I'll tell you, when we are talking about Mahavikas Aghadi, I'll tell you, these are the 3 parties at complacency level. Now, when it comes to seat sharing, so far they have had 11 meetings and maybe a number of press briefings. But till this date, and next 2-3 days, I think that will be the last date of nomination. They are not 29th, yeah. So they are yet to finalize the seat sharing. On the contrary, Mahayuti, have you ever seen there is any discord in the press conference?
No, Ganesh, I will not completely agree to you. I'll tell you why I won't agree to you. You see, what happens is, even if water drops in Mahavikas Aghadi, it'll be front news in most of the channels, especially the channels we know. It'll be front news. Oh my God, water fell, everything. And even if a bomb drops in a Mahayuti press conference, nobody reports it. So the fact remains that there is completely under-reporting about Mahayuti issues. There is tremendous amount of issues between Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde. There is tremendous amount of issues between Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis. So all is not well there either. So that's the thing. And the fact is, one still understands that even they have not yet finalized the seat sharing. They have not.
No, I'm coming to it. I'm coming to it. What you say is, I would little disagree a bit, and
Please.
part I will agree to that. Okay.
Which part do you agree, by the way?
The part, see, they don't give you a content which you can immediately flash in media. Whereas Sanjay Raut and Nana Patole, they are readily giving you the content.
No.
So you will jump on it.
Sorry, I'll interject there. It is not just about giving content. It is about analyzing the content. You see the headlines that you see in media when it comes to Mahavikas Aghadi, and see the headlines, same situation, see the headline when it comes to Mahayuti. The headlines here are much more dramatic, much more severe, much more everything over, everything gone, a perception creating headline. And if you look at Mahayuti, the headlines are okay. They are fighting, they are talking, they are working. That's the way it is.
So as a communication specialist, to whom would you attribute all these to?
I would attribute it to the concept of Godi Birya. I wouldn't attribute it to a professional communication pattern. No, I would attribute it to a much beyond professional communication.
No, anyway, see, I have since whatever I am observing as a political observer in Maharashtra, because see, I've been through the process of finalizing tickets and these kind of meetings I have personally attended several times with Mr. late R.R. Patil. So, what happens is, usually media is after us to get the inside out or something of that sort. What I feel is the Mahayuti is still they're top leaders. It's mostly the speculation. Whereas Mahavikas Aghadi, Sanjay Raut, Nana Patole from Congress, they're outwardly countering each other in public space, which is not a right strategy to. And just you are 3 weeks away from the polls. What is the message that you are going to the people? First, there was a controversy over chief ministerial face. Second, the controversy about seat sharing and other things. Now, my observations, I'll tell you. When it comes to poll management, except Sharad Pawar, there's a problem with these other two parties. Pawar is an excellent poll manager. Cut to Mahayuti. All three are excellent poll managers. Last time the perception or the narrative was not supporting them. It was Lok Sabha. Okay. This time it is Assembly, and they are right on the task to come what may. They will come to close to their majority seat number. Now, what Mahavikas Aghadi is not understanding, they are fighting a well supported political outfit, which is highly powerful in the entire country. They are ruling in Delhi. Okay, they are in power in Delhi. Now, I will tell you, there are smaller things like the results will come on 23. Okay. Assembly legally has to come in existence, or the first session has to start of the new assembly before 12 midnight of 26th. You have window of not more than 72 hours. Even if Mahavikas Aghadi gets a thin majority, they will not be able to decide CM's face in 72 hours. That you would also agree.
Okay. Very valid point.
And immediately there will be a Rashtrapati Rajvat. And then they have enough time to do the house trading. This is how the Election Commission has designed the dates of Maharashtra. This is how I look at it. Okay. Let's see.
Brilliant analysis.
Let's see what happens between 23rd and 26th. And since what I sense, though there is anti-BJP mood that continues in the hinterland of Maharashtra, okay, Maratha votes are still against the BJP, but still they are trying to organize themselves in such a way through their poll management, through their money and muscle management, to counter all these factors. So I feel is now they are coming close neck to neck. When there is a neck to neck situation and you have a situation of 72 hours, now you imagine what will happen when BJP being in center, taking the decisions. So it's very interesting month for Maharashtra politics.
Tell me, this is a very valid point. What you're saying is when the going gets tough, then it's the poll management that really makes a difference.
This time it is going to.
Tell me, how did Ladki Bahin Yojana make a difference?
See, I have not taken, in few regions I have spoken to people, because I have, since I have the old network of people who observe all these effects and this thing. There is a, clear cut, again, there are different opinions. The Yuti people think that they have made a turnaround of 2.5 crore women voters. Okay. But at the same time, these women are happy about their 1500 rupees what they are getting. But at the same time, they say that our cylinder cost has gone from 400 to 1200. What is this going to help us? Now, in places like Western Maharashtra, your agricultural labor's women labor is close to 700, 800 rupees a day. So it is 2 days labor that they are providing us. And they are expecting that with these two, they will have a sympathy wave from the entire women folk and this thing. Interestingly, what I have seen is Muslim women have started sympathizing Yuti in certain pockets of Maharashtra, because they are getting 1500 directly into their account. Nobody in the world gave them, because they are not going as a labor to work somewhere, and they are household women. So these are all interesting things coming forward.
Very interesting.
So that is why I say they are coming close to close, neck to neck. All these management, poll management things, na, Yuti is far ahead of Mahavikas Aghadi.
Ganesh, let me just give you what our team said. Our team, like you know, is on ground, and the feedback that our team gave us is very similar to what you just gave. What our team said is that while a lot of women are very pleased, very happy about it, but they still say, what else? I mean, 1,500 se hamara kya hoga? And secondly, yeah, ke bhai, theek hai, 1,500 very good, but what about water? What about employment, so on and so forth? So some of us, some of the people, some of the feedback we got is 5,000 to 6,000 votes is what per constituency is what the difference would be as far as Ladki Bahin is concerned. But 5,000 to 6,000 is a fairly decent and fairly significant change. So that's what the feedback we got. Anyway, this the Muslim feedback, Muslim women supporting that's a very unique feedback that you gave, Ganesh. Good. Let's go to point 3. What about ticket distribution? See, last time Uddhav Thackeray was criticized for his ticket distribution. What is your opinion now? You got most of the numbers in front of you.
I know. I'll give the I don't know whether it is called as psephology. I don't understand those terms.
Neither do we. Neither do the people who call themselves psephologists. So it's okay.
See, my experience with Maharashtra electorate tells me, traditionally, out of these 288 seats, there are about 90 seats which are single subedars. That is, Eknath Shinde is a single subedar seat. Jayant Patil is a single subedar seat, for example.
What exactly would that mean?
That means is the one candidate like Chhagan Bhujbal. For last 20-25 years, there is only one candidate that is continuously winning. There are around 90 seats out of 288. So minus this, they're fixed. You expect Jayant Patil to lose? No.
Correct.
R.R. Patil's son is contesting this time.
Correct.
Rohit Patil. He will not lose. So, like Vijay Moite Patil, his constituency, Akluz, they will never lose.
Ajit
Pawar. So there are, across parties, this is 90. This number is 90. Sometimes it goes plus minus. Okay. Now there is a second class of constituencies, another 90. There are twin subedars. कभी एक आता है, कभी दूसरा आता है, कभी दूसरा आता है, कभी तीसरा आता है. Alternative. Okay. They are mostly in Western Maharashtra, Marathwada and Vidarbha. Mumbai में ऐसे कम है. Okay. So, either ways, I mean, I'll tell you, for example, in Kopargaon, in Ahmednagar district, there are two factions, Kale and Kole. You will, if you see last 60 years history, half the time Kole's family a person is an MLA, half the time Kale's family has been. Take the example of Daund. There is Thorat and Kuls. So, there are 90 constituencies like this. So, here out of these two, there won't be third person who will be winning an MLA seat. So 90 plus 90, 180. So now 100 constituencies are mainly the reserved constituencies and floating constituencies. I mean, where there is no strong. वहाँ पे क्या है कि you will find 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factions. So it is anybody's game. Here the poll management works. Here money and muscle power works more. So these 100 seats this time have become a chaos, because earlier it was 4-party system and 2 of the parties used to give 1 candidate each. So now there are 6 parties, so 3 parties together are giving 1 candidate each. So already you have 6 factions crystallized in each constituency. So all those who are not getting tickets, where are they realigning? That will be only visible after 4th, that is withdrawal of 4th of November. So 4th of November till 10th of November, we can have a fair analysis about these 100 odd constituencies.
Okay.
Now here what happens is, usually since there are no stalwarts, you will see in the first 2 categories they are all stalwarts, crororepatis. Either they have been ministers, or they have their sugar factories, or they have their businesses set, all these things. Okay. Similarly, in the second faction also they are all stalwarts. In the third segment of these 100 seats, they are the actually deciders, because these first 2 categories are mostly crystallized. You can predict that even today. Most of that, at least 90% of seats, if you categorize, even your team can do that. If you categorize that, you can predict that how many are completely, winning on which side. The matter is with these 100 seats. Mostly Adivasi seats, tribal seats, scheduled caste seats, and there are certain seats where there is no stalwart leader. So these 100 seats will be, the success in these 100 seats will be function of election management of that particular outfit, whether it is Mahayuti or Mahavikas Aghadi. Now here Mahavikas Aghadi, I see miserably failing, because their strategies are going wrong, their management is not poor, their high commands are not operating a well-oiled system to get their maximum benefit out of.
When you say Mahavikas Aghadi, would you include Sharad Pawar in it?
No, he is the exception, because 4 months ago he had finalized all his candidates.
So second, you are saying 2 parties. We are talking about Sena. Yeah.
Sena, they are disorganized. And Congress doesn't have a leadership face left in Maharashtra. Now, who was the leadership face in Maharashtra? Okay, Nana Patole is a Pradesh Adhyaksh, and he has led the faction. So in Delhi, it will be interpreted. I know how Congress interprets in Delhi. They interpreted that it is Nana Patole's leadership. No, it was Congress's second-rang leaders who at district levels worked very hard, and that is why they found those strike rate.
Ganesh, I just want to interject you here. See, I've asked this question to a lot of Congress leaders, a lot of senior Congress leaders.
Yeah.
Now, and one senior Congress leader, I will not name him, but one senior Congress leader had told me that, listen, you know what? He won elections for us. Nana Patole won elections for us. He got us a number that we even didn't expect to get. Okay. So how are you saying that he is not a good leader? See, end of the day, success is what success shows. He was successful.
No, I am not saying he is not a good leader. Rather, he is a dynamic leader, no doubt about it. What I am saying, in addition to that, say people like Satesh Patil, Yeshomati Thakur, even Vilasrao Deshmukh's son, Amit Deshmukh. Okay. So, in every region, this second-rang leadership played a very vital role. And the result, see, when you are sitting at the top, you will definitely get the credit for it. But they fought as a one unit, okay, which is not the case when it comes to assembly. Now, I'm coming to your point. Now, when you say this, that Congress's interpretation, have you ever heard in 2014 that the debacle was because of Prithviraj Chauhan, because he led the polls in 2014? He was Chief Minister 4 minutes prior to 2014.
But that is a very if and but story. I'll tell you what I mean by that. See, 2014 there was a Modi wave which was much bigger than everything and anything. So that's something that why even Pawar couldn't get a good number of seats. Even Pawar's party fell flat. So you were combating a Modi wave. Now that, and unfortunately it was Prithviraj Chauhan standing and facing it. So, we say that he flopped. And here, this time, there was a definite anti-incumbency. There was a definite anti-Modi ride in 2024, which incidentally Patole enjoyed. If I were to say that, how would I be wrong?
No, partly you are right. There was a Modi wave, but that was not entirely true. You see, when you are a chief minister for 4 good years, you should be and that to a state like Maharashtra. You are enough competent and resourceful to combat anything, particularly, particularly a state like
can I ask you a question here again? You see, Digvijay Singh was a chief minister of Madhya Pradesh 10 years, lost miserably. Congress was dominating Delhi for all these years, lost miserably. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath was the chief minister, lost miserably. I don't think Congress can point even one state where they say, okay, we ruled and we dominate the state.
No, I'll tell you, I'm not discounting Patole's role at all.
I'm talking about Prithviraj Chauhan's role. I'm not talking about Patole's role.
I'll tell you, I'll analyze Prithviraj Chauhan's role. First thing, he was a satellite leader launched in Maharashtra. Okay. Never did he indulge into local Maharashtra politics. Neither did he have any experience. He was a typical Darbari staying in Delhi. Yeah. And you look at the incidences. See, when Vilasarao Deshmukh was there, somehow he used to manage to come back to power by maintaining good ties with the NCP. What happened during Prithviraj's tenure is, he crossed the line of maligning NCP. To an extent, he felt that the Congress will go at the behest of NCP, which is not the case. He lost the government. In the entire plot, he lost the government. The insiders will tell you that it was Prithviraj Chauhan who tried to malign NCP and project as a corrupt party, not the BJP leadership in Maharashtra in the initial stages. It was later on picked up by BJP. See, if you analyze the reports of those times, that is 2011 onwards till 14, 11 included, there's 4 years, you will see that there are a lot of such issues where Prithviraj has, and all your senior NCP leaders will tell you, that their, whatever their irritation came along, it's because of the then chief minister. That is because he didn't understand the essence of Maharashtra. Let me tell you, see, education and wisdom are two different things, political wisdom. Vasant Dada Patil was not an educated man, but had a tremendous amount of political wisdom. I'll tell you, previous example of his time, Baba Saheb Bhosle was a barrister, but he was removed by the Congress leadership in just 7-8 months because he could not. So these two, usually we realign all those things, and that is how Prithviraj has projected himself.
Can I ask you a question then? Today, if you have one phase that is acceptable by almost all parties, including Sharad Pawar, it is Prithviraj Chauhan's phase. See, let's face facts. Patole is not accepted by Shiv Sena, and Patole's statements, like you rightly said, were not becoming of a Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee president. So, somewhere down the line, political maturity wise, what other national phase do you see in Maharashtra?
See, currently, again, leaving Sharad Pawar's NCP aside, if you see from Shiv Sena and Congress perspective, right now, no one. They will have to build one.
Shiv Sena has Uddhav Thackeray. Yeah. So
yeah, they have Uddhav Thackeray in there. So the Congress has to build upon.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about, so finally, your ticket distribution. Yeah. You think this time around, whatever you see of Shiv Sena and Congress, you think that this ticket distribution has been more thought through and better than what they were in Lok Sabha?
No. What I am saying is, and reports that I am getting from my sources in various political parties, because most of the small-time workers during my tenure as with Mr. R.R. Patil have become MLAs. Some of them have become ministers. So the feedback I get it from the sources inside is, Mahavikas Aghadi logically, NCP's Sharad Pawar's faction is trying to be logical. See, wherever, now I'll tell you how the things go and where it goes wrong. So now there are 40 MLAs which crossed over to Eknath Shinde, right? Now, as I told you, those 3 categories of constituencies, these 40 fall into some of these 3 categories: single Subedar, double Subedar, and no Subedar. Okay. Now you have to, as a political leaders, these 3 of them have to sit together, and if you say logically, these seats should go to Uddhav Thackeray. Okay. But some of the seats he has won with a lesser than 1,000 votes margin, and the candidate was borrowed from Congress at that point of time. And if you give a Shiv Sainik now, there is a Congress NCP bastion. Any third party will definitely going to do that. So Sujit, the way they go is based upon linear mathematical calculations, and politics essentially is a non-linear and very complex phenomena. So if you see, take those 40 seats to Shiv Sena, you have to sit together and see who is the winning candidate. And anyways, merger and acquisition and transfer of leaders from here to there is not a taboo anymore. Exactly, this is what the Mahayuti leaders are doing. If the constituency belongs to some other party, they are sending the winning candidate to that particular outfit, be it Ajit Pawar, Eknath Shinde, or Devendra Fadnavis. They are very flexible on this. This is where they have an upper edge in election management. This is what I see from my feedbacks. And Mahavikas Aghadi is, they're theoretically working on certain things, and practically you have to have certain things. For example, I was just going through Shiv Sena, this thing. Now, Ramtek is a hotly contested seat, usually from Nagpur. Okay. I just had a glimpse. Okay. Here is that. Now, Ramtek, essentially, if you give a seat to Congress, for example, I know the micro organization, and let the viewers also know. The sitting MLA was this thing who crossed over to Eknath Shinde. Now, they have to sit together because their MLA, a strong man, has gone out with all his men and everything. That was seen in the Lok Sabha also. You could not cut Shinde to size to the extent Uddhav had thought over. So now you have to sit across logically and with the other parties and see who is a winning candidate, who is a potential winning candidate, and you realign your seat. Now, if you see the Ramtek number, I have worked in the district, Nagpur district, long back. Now this is Vishal Barbate. Okay. He is never seen on any Shiv Sena rally, is not maybe just technically a Shiv Sainik. He is a businessman. He has automobile showrooms across Nagpur district. And then if you see his social media handles and other things, you will see he is completely non-political person. And a sensitive constituency like Ramtek, you are fielding that gives an entire message to the entire Vidarbha, that your candidate selection is not up to the mark. Here, if you give a Congress candidate instead, now this is again, maybe Congress people are demanding, but Uddhav is not yielding to the pressure. So what I say is, if you are highly logical in dealing with the seat sharing and other things, it may not work always in politics.
Ganesh, I've got 3 last questions to ask you. My question number 1 is, tell me, you worked very closely with Maratha movement. You've seen Maratha movement very closely. Will Jarange Patil make a difference to the elections? And what is Jarange Patil's strategy? What is running in his mind? Because this seems to be a little strange.
See, he was asking, essentially the Maratha movement was for reservations. I will tell you its core essence. The core essence is, a lot of people say, okay, Marathas have been in power for so many years and still Marathas are agitating. I see it as a class struggle within caste. People interpret it as a political, from political perspective, but it is a class struggle. So if you see all these years, in any assembly, Maharashtra Assembly, you will see out of 288, these observations I have done over the years, 150 plus MLAs will be Marathas across parties. Even in this assembly, 150 plus will be Marathas. Even then, why this agitation and all this? Because you see, there is no other state in the country where there is one caste where population is more than 35% put together. Kunbis and Marathas put together in Maharashtra is more than 35%. Yeah. B, politically they have been historically very active. Whether it is independence movement or Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Swaraj, they have always been politically very active and ready to contest this thing. Of late, in last post-independences, what has happened is, like I said, Subedar's constituencies, the Marathas have now stalwarts and other things. If you see the entire history of Maharashtra, there are not more than 1500 Maratha families beyond which a MLA seat has gone. Can you believe this? But it's a fact. Okay. If you see the socio-economic classification of Maratha caste, you go to Mumbai, send your reporters. You'll see the lowest manual labor is Mathadi. You'll see maximum Marathas working there. So a chief minister Maratha and a Mathadi Maratha. So there is a difference, Sujit. You will have to somewhere different in classes. So it is a class struggle within the caste. They are initially unhappy with their own leadership because they have taken their votes for granted, and yet their economic this thing. You'll see the BEST conductors or the security men with the standing anywhere. So there are 3-4 castes in Maharashtra who from where these people come. A, Marathas, B, Dhangars, and C, Vanjaris. You will not see other castes in these lowest rung professions where there is still manual labor employment. So if you do that analysis, it is ultimately class struggle within the caste. Now, what happens is whosoever is governing the state, they'll be anti them. It is very easy to divert a distortion or divert a discontent towards the sitting towards the establishment. If you see, when Devendra Fadnavis was chief minister, a non-Maratha chief minister, if you analyze who has given Marathas what, he stands out, he has given maximum to Maratha youth and worked towards the reservation of Marathas. Yes, it's a fact. Unfortunately, he is standing in villain's box today. Because, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, see, why these people are fighting, I'll tell you. When a Maratha, you will never see Sharad Pawar fighting for reservations. Have you ever seen Sharad Pawar on streets for reservations of Marathas? No. You will never see any Maratha MLAs hotly speaking and debating.
So then why is Jarange Patil against Devendra Fadnavis?
See, that is how it is very easy to divert the dispensation. I don't know the intent.
No, but dispensation, currently Devendra Fadnavis is not the chief minister, Shinde is, but Jarange Patil is...
See, Devendra Fadnavis is in power, okay. So, and it is very easy to, direct your discontent to non-Maratha leader. Okay. And वो तो अपना है, वो कुछ कर लेगा. That is a philosophy which they are working. Now, coming to your basic question, the factor I think will not work as it worked for the Lok Sabha. Because again, in every constituency, Marathas themselves are divided into 7-8 pressure groups. So the caste factor, yes, it will work with particularly the new voters who are 18 to 30 group, who don't know much about the past history of politics and how people take you for the ride and how your cause is lost after the election. So that group of youth will always be with Jarange, but the senior people, above 30, will go as per the local political setups and things.
Ganesh, another very important question that I wanted to ask you. You see, Balasaheb Thackeray is an icon of Maharashtra. Yes. You can't deny that. Yes. Whichever ideology you belong to, whichever side, right, left, wherever. Balasaheb Thackeray's son, Uddhav Thackeray, today has been literally dislodged by an Eknath Shinde. And the best part is that Eknath Shinde is actually gaining grounds. Yeah. And Uddhav Thackeray is losing grounds. Which means that the chances are possibly CSDS survey just said that the most preferred chief minister is Uddhav Thackeray, 28, and 20% said that Eknath Shinde. That 20% could change. It is not a huge margin and all that. How is this happening? What is Maharashtrians thinking?
See, Bal Thackeray era is literally over. I mean, there are some remnants of the legacy. When he was alive and active in politics, there were not much, except for Chhagan Bhujbal and some smaller here and there. There was no big tents. Uddhav essentially is not a political material. Okay. If you see, he is a creative man and an artist in first place. But having said that, when you have such a brand and such an organization, you should first decode how could Balasaheb Thackeray achieve this. If you decode that, then you can adopt it. I think Uddhav Thackeray has failed to do that in first place. Now, what was that? See, Balasaheb Thackeray didn't have money, resources or anything to create an outfit in 70s. Somehow Congress supported him at that point of time, okay, including Indira Gandhi, to counter the communists, and he catapulted his organization to the level in 20 years, what it is today. But if you go to the micro level, see, he established a Shaka culture and empowered the lowest man in the system. So, if you ask me what was Balasaheb Thackeray's bandwagon, it was empowerment to the lowest man. And that is exactly what Eknath Shinde is doing with his cadres. He's taking care of the lowest man in the system. See, not only his karyakartas, but I know he has a NGO which takes care of heart operations, medical care, one who is in distress and everything. Anybody can give a call. There is a call center and immediately he is taken care of. At least a few thousand operations that NGO has done from Eknath Shinde is this thing. Because when I was touring the state, that is the time I came to know, though we stay very close by in Thane. My house is just 50 meters from his house. I didn't know that such an activity is being done. So he empowers. So who recommends him to that NGO is the local leadership. So he gets that power to oblige somebody to get the operations done, those poor people and all. When I was traveling in this Osmanabad district some months ago, a woman came forward, and when she came to know that I am from Thane, she said, "Oh, I had come to Thane to meet Eknath Shinde." I said, "You met him?" She said, "Yes, my son was to be operated. He had a heart ailment and things like that." And then I said, "What happened?" "Nothing." He directed me to XYZ, no XYZ person of that NGO, and immediately hospital was called. We got the admission and it was done. 7 days, 8 days I was in Thane. We were taken care of. A rural lady from Osmanabad. Do you have such kind of audience and systems in Matoshri? How long the brand will sustain? Just because under the name.
Very good story, but that was very interesting insight, Ganesh. Ganesh, tell me last question. 27th October 2024, today's date. Who do you think has an upper edge? MVA, Mahayuti.
26th November.
No, I'm saying today. I'm saying today's date.
Today's date. Okay.
Of October 2024.
Today, see, UT has come up little bit and Mahayuti has gone down. So it is a neck-to-neck situation now.
But still, who do you give?
Today it is anybody's game, Sujit.
So
as of today, it is anybody's game. 4th onwards, when the candidates are finalized, that time there will be certain realignments, permutation combinations.
29th is the candidate.
No, last date of withdrawal.
Okay.
See, they'll play around. Mahavikas Aghadi will keep on playing around till 4th.
Okay.
Withdrawal and other things. You will see in the coming week.
Okay. So today you are saying from where you came in after the Lok Sabha, where we said that it is going to be a complete Mahavikas Aghadi game. Now you are saying today, and like I said, this is dynamic. This is going to keep on changing. Today we are saying it is anybody's game. It is neck to neck. And if I go by what you just said, if it is neck to neck and the poll management is better, then the person who has got the poll management better, he wins. So the fact remains that today you are actually telling me that Mahayuti has a better chance.
They are not better chance. They are now, I would say, evenly placed. If Mahavikas Aghadi is still, particularly Congress and Shiv Sena, still go unprofessionally like that, because see, Sharad Pawar has secured his vote. Okay,
Yeah.
He knows he's going to win 45 to 50 seats, and that he has planned well.
Correct.
So he's, anyways, he's happy about it, and he's going that. But Congress and this, that is another this thing.
So
See, you have only 72 hours after the polls, so no.
Yeah, we will keep it for another day. So thank you so much, Ganesh. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch up in the next 10 days once again.
Thanks for inviting me here.
Sure.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.